Final few moments here as we head to the top of the hour. New book out, Bets, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, the Rise and Fall of the World's First Offshore Sports Gambling Empire. The author, Steve Budin, and he joins us in studio right now. I'll tell you what, you look good. You look better here than on the book.
Yeah, well, thank you. I got to change my cologne. You know, everyone that seems to be telling me that is wearing a suit.
I mean that as a compliment. You know what I'm saying? So tell it. I mean, Rise and Fall, and the cover, as Johnny Smalls noticed while we were in break, the cover is a pair of hands in handcuffs.
That's definitely the fall.
That's the fall. but the bottom line is, I mean, you started in the seamy side of this business and then wanted to clean it up. Tell us how that happened.
Right. Well, I started on the street as a bookmaker at 16. I was taking bets already from my high school friends and their parents and the teachers as well. And then I expanded that, and wound
Teachers?
Sure, the teachers as well. Sure, the gym teachers. They all used to love the parlay cards. I'd bring them in every week, $5 a card, no chance of winning. Nobody in this business makes money but me. That's how it works. But, so eventually I wanted more for myself. I felt like I was onto something. I wound up running the largest street bookmaking operation. By the way, where I am today, I love being here in Philly. Philly is the bookmaking capital of the world. I don't know if you guys are aware of that. More bookmakers per...
Sylvester Johnson did not hear that, though.
more bookmakers per capita here in Philly than anywhere in the country.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
More than Boston, more than Chicago,
more than Boston and New York combined. And the reason is because the laws are so laxed here when it comes to bookmaking. So New York bookmakers are always seeking refuge in Philly when they get too many felonies. So, a lot of good content. This is a lot of good content.
One more day for the city of brotherly love to be proud of.
We love Philly, they keep us safe. So,
nice. I just want to make sure we get the correct spelling of Budin. We'll put that up in big block letters. Go ahead.
There's a reason why there's so many viewers for your show.
I know that. So a lot of us would bounce on Friday.
So I started working for Caesar's Palace, in the early 90s. And I met a customer there, a Panamanian customer, who got me a license to go to Panama and open up an offshore book, not really to deal to U.S. customers, but to deal to the local Panamanian customers. And when that didn't work out, my next option was putting an ad on a score phone. Back then, that's how we got our scores. We couldn't get them on the internet anymore. We got them on a score phone. And I put the ad on the score phone, and the phones blew up, and that was the birth of the offshore sportsbook business as we know it.
Now, honestly, I don't understand enough about it, but my understanding is offshore betting is legal, right?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not legal?
No, it's never
been.
Though. Well, when I went into it, it was undefined.
Right.
There was no one who ever gotten arrested for it. Well, I changed that. And I was the first.
What did they get you
for? That was
in
'98.
What did they charge you with?
1 count of bookmaking. And look, at the end of the day, they called me up and asked me to surrender, and I came in and didn't give it a fight because I wasn't looking to do something illegal. I was looking to change the way people did things. And I came back and I answered the bell. And the good news is, the moral to the story is that you can't keep a good man down. And now I'm on the other side with SportsInfo.com, and we're teaching gamblers all across the world how to win. And the way to win is to lose less. It's not about winning more. In the old days, handicappers sold the dream. But guys like Brandon Lang, who works with me, he sells the reality. And the reality is, if you're a gambler looking to win and make a profit, this is something that you're not going to be able to do. But if you understand that making a bet on the game increases the entertainment value, and you like to do that, well, this is America, and you should spend your money on what you like to do. And who else can put a value on what your entertainment should cost but you? Yeah. I say go do it, no problem.
Yeah, the problem is human nature being what it is. You get a little taste, you start to win a little bit more, and all of a sudden it's, I can win more and more. And then that's how you end up. Remember the movie? Remember the movie about Brandon's life? I had a life. Remember that?
You know what? I'm in the gambling business 20 years, and I can tell you with a straight face, 99% of gamblers do not have a problem. 99% of gamblers bet well within their means. Don't bet the mortgage on sports betting. Remember, this is an event that's going to go on for 3 hours with one risk. In Vegas, it's full of games, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Blackjack, a hand every minute. Video poker, a hand every half a minute. That's the crack cocaine of gambling, not sports betting.
Mm-hmm. So it's a different deal when you got one game at a time.
It's taking you 3 hours to win or lose. That's not a degenerate.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Except if you bet on by quarter. By quarter, huh? Who's going to get the opening kick?
Listen, the right guy will find a way. He'll find a way to make it into something that it's not.
Right. Okay. So then you were setting all this up for the Panamanian businessmen, other Panamanians, and then it ends up. So you want to clean this up. So
Well,
you establish the internet situation.
What we did is fail miserably. And look, when I went into business and I borrowed money, it wasn't from Wachovia. You know, it was from the type of people that you borrow money from in the gambling business. This was tough money. You know, and I couldn't lose this money. I had to make good on it. So I was, you know, I was really squirming for something to do. And it was a second thought. It was, look, sometimes a contingency plan is the best plan of all. And although I didn't go out there to redefine an industry, that's what wound up happening, and I'll take the credit for it.
Yeah, because never.
I didn't get the cash. I didn't get all the cash I need. I'm going to get the credit.
Well, how's the cash flowing now?
Not bad. You know, I got
bad.
50,000 customers worldwide that buy picks from us. 4,000 customers a week from Brandon Lang alone. We're doing very well. We're doing very well, and it's because of our honesty and our integrity. That's what we brought to the game.
Were you ever bet, or you just always
Never.
took?
Never.
You never got into betting at all?
No, like I said earlier on, I do the winning. And to do the winning, you got to take the money. You don't give the money.
Okay, so the government, I mean, HCC, so you have horse racing. Now everybody's getting slot machines at the horse tracks.
Right.
Why is sports betting still only allowed in Vegas?
You're asking me, or you're asking the government?
No, I'm asking you.
It's the biggest hypocrisy in the world. And the reason why is because it takes talent. You know, to win as a sports book, you don't just put up a number and win. You know, this takes manpower. It takes talent. To win in a slot machine, line up 100 slot machines in the room and buena notte, go to sleep, because you're going to win every single time. And corporations, they don't like that. They don't like that. They don't want to be in the risk business. They want to be in a business that's a 100% guarantee, and that's why every single casino in Las Vegas has 2,500 slot machines in it now. If it was up to the casinos, they'd throw all the sports books out, put slot machines and video pokers in those rooms. They're wasted space. They only have them to compete with all the other hotels that have them.
All right, how about some of your experiences in New York as you're making your way up? First of all, your father was a bookie, too?
A legendary bookie from New York.
And so when his son won, he didn't say, "I want better for you, Stevie."
Right.
Or no, he said,
He
"Come
wanted
on."
as good for me. You know, and that's the thing. My dad, look, he was from Brooklyn. He wasn't a touchy-feely guy. He wasn't a guy that maybe gave me a hug every time I needed one. But I'll tell you one thing. He did teach me how to be the best bookmaker in the world. And in teaching me how to be the best bookmaker in the world, he taught me about honesty. He taught me about integrity. He taught me about respect for people and your customers. And that really taught me how to be the best person in the world.
No, and playing devil's advocate.
Go ahead.
People hear you're a bookmaker, they hear you talk about honesty,
Right.
integrity, and all this. How do you sell that to people? I mean,
I
the
don't
guy
have
sitting
to.
at home, who's going to believe
I'm
that?
20 years in this business. I don't have to. You couldn't find one customer out there that never got paid for me. Not from when I was 16 to when I was 26. It just didn't happen. And that's how I did it, with my reputation. I took a business that used to be a shady thing in the back street where you were worried about if you didn't pay, Louis Fingers was coming to see you, and I changed it. And you know what I did? Right now, the average bet on the internet, you know what it is? It's $14. And people don't know that. They don't understand that the way the internet changed gambling was we brought everybody on board. We brought all the little guys, all the guys that couldn't get a $5 or $10 bet. We gave them a taste of what it's like to bet on a game. When you used to bet over the phone, you had to bet a minimum of $100. Over the internet, we'll take a $5 bet all day long. And once you made a bet on a game, very hard to go back and watch it if you don't bet.
And then, but don't they increase their bets as they go along according to how well they do?
Some people do, some people don't. Like I said, the mainstream of people bet within their means. If they get spanked one week, they
So you
come
think
back
really-
next week
I mean,
and slow it down.
So you really, most people are in it for the entertainment value of it, not to think they're going to get rich, you know, by gambling. I mean, it's really, so they bet within their means because it adds an element to watching a football game or a sporting event.
Look, I own the largest pick conglomerate in the world. We advise 50,000 gamblers who to bet on. So when I say this, it means something. If you're out there, and you know, it's tough for me to say because I own a company where our job is to make you win. If you're out there and you're betting every day, you cannot win. It's impossible. However, if you've come to the realization that you don't care about winning, you want to make your game as exciting as possible, and you're going to bet whether I tell you to or not, then you come to me and I make you do the best you can possibly do. And sometimes it's about losing less, because losing less is really winning more.
We got to go real quick. Brandon Lang and how he entered your life in the 30 seconds or less.
Brandon Lang,
he's with us every Friday, too, for the money pick.
Greatest handicapper of all time. I met him in the 80s when he was working phone rooms, and he was really, you know, in a different type of business, hustling, making a dollar. We brought him on the internet. We made his picks available to the masses. I told him at first we're going to sell his picks for $20. He was used to selling his picks for $20,000. He thought I was crazy, but now 4,000 people on a Sunday play $20, and you can do the math. That's not bad.
Wow. Thank you for being here.
It's a pleasure anytime.
We got it one more time. The book, Bets, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, the Rise and Fall of the World's First Offshore Sports Gambling Empire. Steve Budin is the author. Forward by Brandon Lang. The dedication alone is worth reading this book to his mom and dad. Steve, great to see you.
Thanks so much
Thanks
for
a lot.
having me. I appreciate
Steve Budin is here. We'll take a break. We come back. Sports news update, and then the Flyers.